Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Just a couple of reminders. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll have the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my YouTube channel. That's Joe Cioffi on YouTube. 9 o'clock for Patreon members. We will begin what hopefully will be a weekly thing where we will do a Zoom for members. In other words, members can come on and we're going to discuss weather and any other questions that you might have regarding weather and meteorology or wherever we wind up going in the conversation. So do join in if you are a member. If you're not, you can join easily by going to patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's a subscription site. And if you subscribe for a full year, you get 15% off or 2 months free. And that goes for new and current members. If you're a current member, if you decide you want to go to an annual, you can do that and get the discount. Okay, that takes up the first minute. Now let's do some weather. And we have actually a fairly easy week weather-wise from eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. We're looking at high temperatures today that are going to be in the middle to upper 60s. And I think the best way to describe the days this coming week, every day will be either a mix of sun and clouds or a mix of clouds and sun. And the nights will feature some low clouds and maybe some patchy fog that will develop because of the flow coming in from the off the ocean from the south, or some days it might be more from the east or southeast. But otherwise, it's going to be a fairly quiet week. We're not forecasting any showers at all through the work week and maybe even through the weekend. Tuesday's high temperatures will probably make it up above 70, upper 60s and lower 70s, even some middle 70s down in Maryland and Northeast Virginia. And we'll be pretty much in that range. Again, how high we get will depend on how much sun is around. The high temperature forecast might be a little bit on the high side, keeping it in the 70s. I'm kind of thinking it'll be more like upper 60s and low 70s pretty much for the entire week, and it actually gets lower as we go into the weekend because there might be more in the way of cloud issues. So as we take a look at the satellite loops this morning, first off, we'll look at the U.S. loop and get an idea of what's going on. And of course, we've been talking about this upper trough that has been to our west. And this was supposed to actually shift eastward here during this week and put us in some relatively cool air, but it shows you how quick this is how things have changed. And the reason why we've seen the change. Here's your upper air trough that is driving these clouds from the Great Lakes to the northeast, and you see them there. The bulk, those bright white clouds representing rain, and where the frontal boundary is going to be most of this week, and that's through western New York and western Pennsylvania. We're not going to really see it shift very much. And the primary reason for that is actually you can only see the back edge of the circulation on this loop there. That is new tropical depression 27, which will likely become tropical storm Epsilom later today. And that is a major change from what models have been showing. We've been kind of looking at the Western Caribbean, where something was supposed to develop, and the long range models kept trying to take it up the East Coast. Well, guess what? That probably won't happen, or if it does, it'll never get out of the Caribbean. And in the meanwhile, the formation of Epsilon the potential formation of Epsilon has really altered the upper pattern for this week. The upper trough that was supposed to bring down all the cooler air, well, guess what? It's much further to the west. There's your axis here. You see, follow the clouds. It tells you where the jet stream is flowing from. So all the cold Canadian air is actually dropping down into the plains, maybe from the western Great Lakes, back up through the plains and northern Rockies. And then the clouds and the moisture field runs up northeastward into southeastern Canada, leaving the coastal plain completely out of it. And here's the rain on the radar today. Look where it is: western New York, western Pennsylvania, Ohio, down into southern Indiana. And you're going to see this rain spread up through northern New York, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and northern New England. So at least the dry areas that are there are going to see some impact. They a little bit of issues here with the Weather Prediction Center, but they did plot the surface map and left off the observations. But there's that cold front to the northwest. It's really not going to get much further east. It's going to stall out, and as a result of this pattern, we're going to be kind of stuck here in an area where there'll be very little rainfall. The weather prediction folks from northern North Carolina right up into southeastern New England showing us getting a tenth of an inch of rain or less over the next 7 days. And you can see where the heavier rains are to the north. So the tropical system, which is on the edge of this picture at the start, we're back to yesterday, and you can see the upper trough to the west that is just kind of going to sit there for most of the week. Take a look. And what happens is the outflow from Epsilon strengthens an upper high right to our east, right in here, this Atlantic ridge that builds. And because of that ridge being there, this whole body of this trough can't really drop down into the eastern part of the United States. And until it does, we're just going to continue on cruise control all week. Epsilon will probably, well, I think it'll become Tropical Storm Epsilon later today. It looks like it'll make a run for Bermuda and then take a sharp turn to the northeast, because finally, as that upper high does break down, you're going to start to allow that the progression of weather systems to the west to start moving eastward as we move into next week. And that's when we'll probably get into some more important changes. So just real fast on the surface map here. You can follow it along. No issues today, obviously. All that rain to the west. You get a couple of showers that may be late this afternoon, this evening, cross over the mountains in Pennsylvania before they fall apart. Same holds for Tuesday, central PA, then they just die out. Wednesday, it's high pressure to the north, a bit more of an onshore flow here. Another frontal system approaches for late Wednesday in western New York. That falls apart. And then yet another one on Friday night, early Saturday. That one dies out also. And then you can see the tropical system to the east moving away. And then finally, early next week is when we get a little more action in terms of perhaps getting something through here. Very quickly, the Hurricane Center showing this system, this new tropical depression that just formed on this morning at 8 a.m., 25.8, 55.5 west. Top winds are 35 miles an hour, forecast to become a tropical storm later today or tonight, and then eventually becoming a hurricane as it moves northwest toward Bermuda. And just real quick, I'll give you the satellite loop here, just kind of running a little long today. I understand that. Weather in 5 oftentimes becomes weather in 6, 7, or 8. But here's the satellite loop, and you can see right in the middle of the picture that this non-tropical low has clearly acquired tropical characteristics now, and it should be a tropical storm later today. Meanwhile, in the northwest and western Caribbean, we see some spotty areas of showers and storms, but no sign of any development there. And it may wind up that nothing comes out of that part of the Atlantic Basin. All right, so once again, a reminder tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Time for Patreon members. Patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi. You can participate in what will be a weekly Zoom meeting for members only, and we can talk about anything and everything you want. The Joe and Joe Weather Show is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi. Have a great day, everybody.